when I wanted to go on to train to be a dancer and choreographer in Leicester, I didn't feel that there was any training that was of a really high level that would get me into the jobs that I wanted to get to without my parents having to spend money on going to London to be there, really. So I decided to set up a studio that did classes. I was kind of running it on a simple thing of studios in London that I'd been to, and I started doing classes in the evenings, and I was teaching GCSE dance at the time, and so hated it a little bit because it was kids, and thought, well, really I want to sort of go into more professional training, and so I moved to my new building, which probably no one knows that I'm there because it wasn't on the plan either. It's opposite Phoenix on Midland Street, and we moved there about 4 or 5 years ago now. I started my degree at Leeds University and finished it doing arts management and dance at De Montfort. So I wanted to set up a studio in Leicester, and I moved to here, which now hosts 3 studios, a classroom, a kitchen, and a house, a common room, and it's a large space. It was owned by Blueprint when I took it over as well, when I went on, who I found incredibly difficult to work with when I first moved in. They were based in Nottingham, I think, when I was trying to negotiate my rent here. They weren't bothered that I was a creative industry with very little money. They just wanted the money coming in, and it was an old print factory when I moved in. When I fortunately had a friend from school who was just an estate agent in Leicester, and I happened to be out having a drink with my school friends and was like, oh my God, I need to move. I've been looking for somewhere for 2 years, and I'm now at the brink of losing business because I can't develop anymore. And then, so he rings me up over the Easter holiday and was like, there's an old print factory on Midland Street. They've done a midnight run. We've got no one. It's literally left like they have left it in the middle of the night. Do you want to come and have a look? It's got no electric. All the electric's been switched off. And we went round with a flashlight torch to have a look round, and immediately I thought it was great, because my main thing with having a studio is, although this is a lovely space, I couldn't have 2 pillars down the middle. And every space I looked at for 2 years, they said it's open plan, and I was like, I know it's open plan, but it's got 2 bloody pillars in the middle. I want to expect my kids to do dance around them. So I was looking, and in the main studio, which is now, I'm very happy to say that I house the largest dance space as a studio in Leicester, which is great. This studio had about 20 offices, 20 little print rooms in it, and so I asked for the plans and realised there was no supporting pillars or walls or anything, so that's the first, and that was it. That was just sold for me. I didn't actually know the space because I couldn't see because there was no lights, but I just thought, this is it, this is the one for me. Went in, and first thing I did was just rip down all the walls to get a huge space, and now I've got 2 huge spaces and then an outbreak room as well. I had 3 months rent relief, and in those 3 months I had to turn it around from literally a shell into something that I could house students in it with health and safety policies from a college. I'm linked with Regent College to run a BTEC, full-time BTEC, and I really needed it to be up to health and safety scratch, but that was really, really, really hard going, and I knew it was hard going when I'd been doing it for 3 months, and the reserves of the studio had run out, my own reserves had run out, and I'm ringing my mum to pay my mortgage because I was like, I just don't have any money. I've never applied for any funding, never applied for any grants, or when I first started on Churchgate, I applied for the Sir Thomas White charity and got £5,000, and that's how I first set up when I first set up in 2004. But then when I moved, I had just a chunk of money that I'd accumulated in a reserve, and spent basically every penny I had on this, knowing that I don't own the building, it's still on a lease. But there's no two ways about it. I think the move from Churchgate to the Cultural Quarter has been the best move I ever made. It's been the most stressful and the most painful, and I feel like I've aged about 25 years, but it's been the best experience, because from that, for me, a massive part of my business is I've linked quite heavily with Curve, and I'm very fortunate that I've worked at Curve, but also they are often on the phone. We've run out of space. Can Chicago come and rehearse? Can so-and-so come and rehearse? So I have the Curve cast on a regular basis coming to use my space, so which is great for my students and for my relationship with Curve. So there's no two ways about it. The move over here has been great, and I would never want to move out of the Cultural Quarter now, because it's been the best move. It has been a beneficial move, there's no two ways about it, but I'm glad somebody now is moving things forward for everybody, because that's a great move.